Yeah. So I'm like, kids, you do you now. Hi everyone, and welcome back to episode number 4 of Basma's podcast. Today I'm joined with
Dana
and
Tala and Mrs. Neelum. Today's topic is bucket lists, and the first question will be, was there something nice that you've always wanted to feel or experience, girls?
Why are you looking at me? I guess, you know, the Bollywood love stories. I feel like everybody does want to experience that.
Except
Shah Rukh Khan running after you. You know, I feel like...
And your hair is flowing back.
Yeah, and then you just randomly start breaking out dancing. And like, I feel like that's universal type of want.
Yeah.
And, you know, you watch The Notebook and you're like, why can't I be... You know,
so experiencing, let's just say experiencing the love that we see, you know, that's portrayed to us.
It's like true love. You know, but like, usually you get that reality check of it not being true with your family or with, you know, the news and everything. Yeah, you're like, there's no way that there's a love out there that's gonna last until I look great and old and bold. You know, there's, you know, so for it to, you know, actually happen is very difficult. So,
but I think this is also another misconception because, and it's something that starts. I mean, for me as well, it's something that started very, very young. You know, when I was young, I would watch Bollywood movies, and then you have this preconceived notion of this is what love's going to be, and it's so amazing, and I can't wait. And when you get married, you're like,
is this him?
You're like, what happened? What happened here?
No, honestly. Why is he not singing? Why is he not dancing?
Where was the rain? Where's the sari? What's going on here?
But I feel like that's also a bad thing. I swear to you, Hollywood, Bollywood. It's a bad thing because like your mind is like prefixed to think that that's what love is like. So when somebody actually loves you and does that, like those little things like waking you up in the morning, making you coffee before they leave, like you don't think that that's love. You're just like, they're just, you know, khaddama, you know?
Yeah, that's just their job. They should put you, supposed to do that.
To be honest, I give topics like these their time. Once it comes. I can't force it out. But as a teenager, I like things that I'd want to do, like thrilling things, live my life, but also like with boundaries, of course. I have a fear usually of everything, almost. Like one of my biggest accomplishments was going to Ferrari World, and I went on the big rides. That was incredible. So I like things like, basically it was something I was actually really scared. I called my mom, I called the family. I was like, I'm gonna do it, pray for me, what if I die? Just, you know, I started planning ahead, and I feel like I want to fly. I want to do things. I want to fly. I went to iFly, that didn't work out. I was stuck.
She was wiping the tube, miss.
I was stuck in the net. My toes were getting stuck on the net.
The instructor was like,
I kicked the instructor
a few times. Her toes were in his face.
So I wanted to fly. It didn't work, but it's something I feel like, especially when the weather is nice, that alone brings me happiness. So flying is something that's like, you know, it feels like it's not real. Yeah. And honestly, I like driving like stuff, and it's also a dream to be like, you know, to have enough courage for me to drive around and be like the cool gangs and stuff. But I want to make it out alive at the end. So
no. What about you, Tala?
I honestly don't know. I've got a million things I want to feel, a million things I want to do. I want to try skydiving, maybe. Or like, I want those epic love stories. At the same time, like, this won't happen, but like, maybe it will happen.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the lucky one.
Yeah. No,
we're creating a movie or like a TV
exactly.
Shah Rukh Khan's gonna
start singing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
No.
He starts spitting bullets out of his
mouth. Yeah. Okay.
I think the skydiving one was, and the thing is with bucket lists as well, I find that when you're at certain ages, you have certain things that you want to do, and then the older you get,
the more you realize how immature some of those are.
And I'm like, okay, if I do this, I will die. I have 2 kids to look after. Like, who's gonna take care of them? But I mean, the skydiving thing, I've always wanted to do it. it's always been a dream of mine, and I've been such an adrenaline junkie that it would be one of those things I'd love to do, but then I'd be like, Bismillah, straight to my grave afterwards. So I'm like, kids, you do you now. But mommy's gonna go skydiving now.
If there's no mommy afterwards.
I want to feel that adrenaline rush and the happiness it brings, honestly, but I overthink too much about like, what if I actually
what could go wrong?
What if I die? Because you never know. You watch documentaries. What if you're
the unluckiest?
You're the unlucky one.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what always inhibits you from fully going out there and doing what you want. And there's always this factor of fear behind everything that's new. So what kind of advice would you, as Year 13 students, be able to give other students coming into Basma or just coming into education about conquering your dreams, trying to do what you want to do, and maybe not on a regular basis, but just sort of conquering that fear?
I've got this thing where I used to be terrified of everything.
Whenever
Whenever I'd sit on a roller coaster or whatever, I'd sit down and I'd start reading the full entire Quran, reciting everything I do.
Yes.
And I get a panic attack before something starts. And then once the roller coaster starts and I'm off, I'm just so happy. So I've realized how that panic, sometimes I feel like I'm going to get off the roller coaster. I'm not even going to bother trying. Once I try, I feel so happy, I feel so proud. So I stopped myself from overthinking. I just sit on the roller coaster and it starts going. I just do whatever I have to do.
I'm a firm believer of actually letting God take care of everything. Once Allah's name is in my head or in my heart, especially if I'm on a roller coaster and stuff, I feel like if God wants me to come out alive, I will. If he doesn't, I won't. Like, that's just how things work. So when you think about it's all written. So if I think too much, it's not going to change anything. And I also feel like some people might take this and they're like, yeah, that's whatever. No, you have to think before you do. Things like roller coasters and stuff, especially when you live in like one of the safest countries, it can be fine. But like some things, people go out full extent. I personally don't like that. Like, you have to think logically. Like, you want to have fun, but you think about it and you don't go crazy, you know.
As well as the pressure of like when you have a bucket list, like you're sort of pressured to do everything in that bucket list, and when you don't end up doing some of these things, you're like, I didn't live a great life, I didn't do this. I feel like you should just go with the flow. Like, don't. That's why I feel like writing down your bucket list is so much pressure, because like you physically say, you're like, oh, I have to do this. When it's like in your head, you can sort of alter it. You're like, oh, maybe I'll do this tomorrow, maybe this today. So I feel like just going with the flow, and like Dana said, like leaving it up to God, I feel like is the best option.
You know what? Sorry, go on, Tala.
But I feel like at the same time, when you've got a bucket list, you've got it written down, because of that pressure, you're trying new things. Because you're like, well, I want to take these things off my bucket list. I'm terrified of something, but I've got it on my bucket list. I'm like, you shouldn't be scared. I'm seeing it all the time. So it kind of encourages you to do that thing because you've thought of it a lot. And you start thinking of the consequences, the pros and cons. At the same time, that pressure is good. You try new things. You've got an idea of how you want to live your life or what you want to try.
But yeah, sure. But I feel like restricting yourself from like in that bucket is like bad, you know, like restriction. Like these are the points or the boxes I want to tick and I have to do them. You know what I mean? Like almost like restricts you to do them. So if you just leave it, you know, open, like open, just do it.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
I like last minute plans. I don't know if anybody's like that sometimes. Like I would never think of something, but then I go, for example, and I'm on it, like I'm doing it, and who knows, like
sometimes things that are not planned turn out to be some of the greatest.
They're actually the best,
honestly,
the best experiences.
Yeah, you don't. Exactly. You're like, let's do it. See, when you think about it, you're like, oh, this. Like you come in with this expectation of it having to be great, and when it's not great, you're so disappointed. When it's last minute, you're just going with the flow. It doesn't matter how it's gonna turn out. You're just there for the fun, you know.
And then going back to what we originally said then about, you know, having this thought of how marriage is going to be and how amazing your life is going to be. Don't come into a marriage with these high expectations because number one, there's two individuals. You're living your life now with a completely separate person. This person has been brought up in a different way to you. They're used to different things than you are. Their routine is completely different. Now what you're doing is you're basically merging two complete strangers together. So alhamdulillah, I mean, there's barakah in it because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts barakah in that, because that bond is an amazing bond, and it does bring two people who are strangers together. And alhamdulillah, there's so much sunnah in everything that you do together, because you're growing as a couple, you're growing Islamically as well, you're growing, your tarbiyah is growing. And when you have children as well, you as individuals, you change so much for their betterment, because you are setting examples for them. So I think with even like how you guys said, you know, it's always great to like try new things, and in the end of the day, even if you don't get to do something that you wanted to do, I think as a Muslim, I know it's not a good thought, but I'm like, okay, I'll do it in Jannah, no problem, inshallah.
Yeah, I feel like that's everybody, you know, you're like, it's okay.
I can do it in Jannah, no worries.
Or you're like, I'll do this and then I'll go repent, it's okay.
Don't worry.
No, I'm a firmly disagree with, I do it and I go repent. No, there's no such thing. If you know what's wrong, then don't do it. But some things, like, they're not wrong. They're just, but they're like almost, they're hard to do in dunya. So you think of them, you're like, you know what, I'll do it in Jannah. Inshallah.
Yeah. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, it will happen. If it's not meant to be, then khalas, no problem.
But as for things like available in our dunya, what you can do, you have do access. Everything. You have, as long as it's nothing that goes against religion or is going to put you in a very unsafe spot, then you got it all. Like, who knows, nobody would ever believe that I went on the fastest roller coaster ever. When I was literally on the baby rides, I was like, woohoo, I was really happy with the baby ones, because I had this idea in my mind I was gonna die. When I went out with my friends, a few phone calls, a little manipulation, I was on it. I was on it.
And I think she was the first.
I went again.
Oh my god.
And I went again and again, and I was like, I started screaming.
Even the guy had to kick her off. He was like, you need to leave.
Can we go now?
I'm looking at the guy like, will I die? As if I know him like years ago. He's like, you won't die. I'm like, please make sure. Tell my mom I love her. He's like, what do you go?
But I feel like parents also come to play and things like that. Like, for example, my parents, I'm not gonna say my parents are strict or anything like that, but they're very protective of me. So that limits me from, I'm not saying that your parents are not protective, it's just like mine are overly protective of me to a point where like I don't get to do things that I'd want. Like, for example, plans. Do not make plans with me, and she knows very well. Do not make plans with me.
My parents know very well as well.
Yes. No, because the amounts of time that I had to cancel because my mom was just like, you know what, no. And I'm like,
doing it,
okay. And the thing is, I'm not gonna sit there and beg. You said no, khalas, no. Like, unless if there's like this sudden like change of heart, and most of the time I won't be able to do it. But things like skydiving and stuff like that, my dad is up for it, but then you got my mom that's like, no, you will not be considered. No, I still want to do it. No. I'm like, but yeah, like I feel like parents also come to play with a lot of these type of things. Like, you can't be like, I want to go to Europe and your dad's name is Abdullah. No, that's not gonna happen.
Abdullah will go with you.
No, Abdullah's coming. You know, for universities and stuff, a lot of people are saying that they're gonna go, they're gonna travel outside for universities and they're gonna get to experience like college life and all of that. I'm like, no, my dad is coming with me. My dad was like, yeah, you can go outside, but keep in mind, I will be there. I will be cooking for you. I'll be ironing. I'll be doing it all. I'm coming with you. I'm like, okay, then I'm staying here.
Yeah, I'll stay here. Thanks.
No, honestly, but yeah.
At the same time, like with my parents, growing up when I was younger, my mom was very scared something would happen to me. Like, she wouldn't let me go ice skating because she thought I'd fall and then someone would come passing through and just cut me in. Or whenever I ride a roller coaster, she'd have a full entire panic attack. Okay, so she would stop me from doing certain things. But now she kind of had a change of mentality.
Because she
even
another
crossing the road alone, I can't cross the road alone. She's very scared something would happen to me. And now she's kind of more open to the idea of me going out by myself or like crossing the road.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like when you grow up, like your parents, you realize why your parents do certain things, and you become more understanding of their ways. You know, when you're like growing up, you're like, oh my god, they're so mean. Oh my god, they're so this. But then when you're like almost at their age, no, I'm not almost at their age, but you know, when you're almost there, you're like, oh, they did this because, you know, there's always a reason behind it. Sometimes it's not really logical, and sometimes there's no logic behind it at all, but you're like, it makes sense, you know?
But I disagree, actually. Sorry, I think. Go ahead.
Do you guys think cartoons put expectations for children how life should be in the future? Like,
I feel like
some kids go,
Disney.
I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be this.
Yeah.
but
I feel like
kids
it's the
through
dream.
it makes them like, it allows you to dream big. Like, if it wasn't for dreaming, I don't think we'd have a lot of the things we have today. Like, can you imagine something stuck to your roof, bring out light? Like, you had to really think about it, like dream big for it to happen, you know? Like a moving vehicle with wheels and all that. Like, you have to dream big.
Yeah.
Like Disney movies and stuff, I find them very nice and beautiful and like heartwarming. But then when it comes to things like Cartoon Network and all of these new shows, I never watched them as a kid. My mother would strictly not allow them because when you have a human body attached to horse legs and a weird that was actually one of the shows on Cartoon Network. It was scary. It was
I think it was
traumatizing.
Uncle, Grandpa.
I think it was something like
Uncle Grandpa.
It was like in Arabic. I watched Cartoon Network in Arabic.
That show was horrendous.
It was true. لعن جده.
That's something like this. Uncle
Do
Grandpa.
you like Adventure Time though?
Yes,
Adventure
Time.
I feel like as a kid,
So
it didn't
good.
really come to me. No, I like things that were very wholesome. Like I watched Arabic versions of almost everything, and I would watch they were usually Japanese, I think, but they were translated.
But they were like the very
but they
old
were
Japanese,
very old stuff, not the weird anime stuff now.
Yeah, no, they're very good.
But they would show you they had an objective in every episode you would watch. They make a child come out happy and
There's like heartwarming
thinking of-
stories.
Yeah, exactly. Not the weird let's go fight and, and
Jump off the
even-
roof, land.
Yeah, exactly. And even like the Arabic translations, you hear stuff. It's like shut up, you
Yeah,
idiot. No,
gosh.
like yeah.
But yeah, like stuff like Space Tune and NBC3, I feel like those were like really heartwarming. Yeah. You know?
Inspector Conan.
It's true. It's
Yeah. Inspector Gadget, anybody know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
true. Inspector Gadget was so
Honestly,
good.
it was so nice.
So,
he was
so
a weird
good.
guy, but he was funny.
Do you guys watch MB3?
MP what?
MB3.
MB3, no.
MBC3?
You're missing
I'm
the
like,
C.
what's MB3? I'm thinking.
NBC3 sometimes, but like I said, my mom was she would give me most. I don't remember watching a SpongeBob episode, a full one. That's why when people are talking about it, I only know the song because I like would see my friends listening to it. That's it. I don't actually remember anything. I don't even know the characters' names. To be fair though, yeah.
he's like, is everything okay at home?
Yeah, it's actually perfectly fine because I like the like old school stuff almost.
Yeah.
The CDs with the beautiful drawings and the hills and the cute clothes, the little dresses and stuff. It was very wholesome. I don't like
The new stuff.
Yeah.
I grew up watching Barney. And
Barney.
I love Barney.
Teletubbies as well.
Yes.
With their weird.
Teletubbies were a bit sick in the head, I think, but okay.
They were creepy. They were
weird. Like
they were
think about
creepy.
it.
Like the little baby son.
Oh, come on.
It was a bit creepy.
To think about it at this age, it's creepy.
Yeah. And then you look at the baby and the son and you're like,
How do you
how is that produced?
Honestly, but I feel like there's a lot of good stuff when it comes to like old things, like classic things. A lot of people are scrapping it and like, oh, mother. Listen, we're not trying to be different. We're not like, oh, I listen to the classics. No, it's not anything like that. It's just like when you, for example, like music, especially old Arabic music. I think most of us can agree. When I grew up, I was like, it's the crappiest music I've ever heard.
Like, get it off, please.
They spent an hour just trying to sing music. I'm just like, are you okay? Let us. And then she sings for another hour, and I'm just like,
And the lyrics is so repetitive. That's something I noticed. it would be like a tiny chunk, and
then
repeat it,
comes
repeat it.
back, and I'm just like, are you done? Are you done?
You think it's done, and then it goes
It starts again.
Yeah, no, there's another hour of orchestra and then singing again. But then when I'm listening to it now, I'm just like, there's meaning behind those lyrics, and it's actually like the music is enjoyable. Like it's almost like a story.
It's
you
real
know,
music.
Yeah,
It
basically.
requires effort.
Yeah, except like you should have like some sort of balance between, I feel like, music, you know, Arabic classical music, and then the crappy junk and all of that. Like,
you need a bit of both. Depending
Sometimes
on your
there's
mood.
good junk, but then you have ones with those like little mixers, and they're like, yes, that sounds good. Release it. Gets
like what is this? It literally took you 2 seconds.
I know that you should not be speaking. She was listening to Astronaut in the Ocean for like a straight 4 months. She was like, this is it. This
Okay.
That song is like a pinnacle of songs.
It's actually
it was like so addictive.
it was. I memorized the lyrics like so bad, and it was like it gave me summer vibes and stuff. But now, it's too crappy. It's too bad.
Yeah.
But then there's like the 2014 One Direction stuff. That's nice. But then you have, it's almost like, you know, GarageBand on iPhones. They have these things where you start clicking random buttons.
They
and
all
then you
sound the
produce a
same.
song.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
But yeah, for example, parents. Oh my God, my parents and music. Oh no.
Yeah.
When I'm in the car, they usually tell me to take in control of the music, and I'm like, you know what? Let me not get screamed at this time. I know what my dad likes to listen to. When it comes to English, like American English music, he likes the old classic jazz songs. I'm like, you know what? Let me put that. Yeah, Miss, you know, like Louis Armstrong again, Ella Fitzgerald, all of that. I'm like, you know what? Let me put that on. And it's just singing. He's like, Lena, is my name John or is my name Barack? What is it? I'm like, what? He's like, do you think you're American? You will never be American. Change the music. I'm like, I'm literally like, I'm putting on the music you liked, and then I put Arabic songs, and he's like, what's this Arabic songs?
And I'm like,
you can never win.
But
drive.
You know what's important? I still need to know, Tala, are you still producing Bosnian songs? Or tell Miss Neelum.
Please do.
I
want a
I still
preview on
listen to
him.
them.
She was a songwriter, song composer, dancer. Yeah.
Tell us that.
Tala, go ahead.
Please,
We've got so many talents, Stop starting now. But I still listen to them.
It was a talent that needed to be hidden. Not sure.
It's in the grave. No. But I mean, with music and my parents, I think me and my mom reached this middle ground where if I want to listen to something in English, it's fine, as long as it's Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. Yeah, my mom loves them.
She's into Britney.
So
My mom likes Adele.
No, that's my dad. My
Adele,
dad loves
Adele,
that.
though, like,
Miss, my dad turns into like
everything.
how can
he's
you?
like, hello from the. I'm like, Baba, calm down. Yeah.
And I'm just
Honestly.
like, no. Even my son now, he's starting to do it, and I'm like,
No, you know what my
don't stop
mom
this
likes now? She likes the Afro beats. She loves like the Love and One Titi song. There is not, Miss, till this day we listen to it. Till this day, Miss, we have not taken a break. That song, Miss, it haunts me in my dreams.
You know,
At some point,
there's just some classics that just keep coming up year after year,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, you know what? It's nice because it's like no matter what part of the family you are from, no matter what generation you are, you can all
enjoy it,
experience it, and enjoy
I feel
it.
like it's TikTok. It's TikTok that's
Yeah.
done this thing. Yeah.
But I feel like at some point we all get to the same ground with our parents. We agree on some things, and that I feel takes us back to our dreams. As long as they agree with us, as long as, firstly, God's agreement, and then our parents, and then our morals and stuff, then it should all be fine. And as long as these criteria are, what do we say, are met, then it's all good, and then you can actually conquer your dreams nicely and safely.
This is probably why I feel like the things that we have on our bucket list, some of them are not fully thought out or thought through, and then when the things that have been thought out, obviously they take time. They take a lot of time to put into place. We're coming to the end of our podcast now, so I just wanted to very quickly go around the table and just wrap up, maybe in a couple of sentences, what the overall sort of consensus of this of this topic is, and what we can learn from it, basically. Donna, I'm going to start with you if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. I mean, dream big, but make sure that your dreams are like realistic in a sense, that it doesn't go against any morals, anything to do with God. If you are dreaming too big, just wait until Jannah. And make sure that there's always like your parents' blessings behind it, because I feel like that's very, very important.
Dream logically and safely. That's all I have.
I think as
Dream
long
Bosnian?
as
Dream Bosnian.
as long as it doesn't go against God and religion, you can do it. It's fine. Go ahead.
I'm going to be the complete opposite, and I'm going to say you should have big dreams and big aspirations and never be afraid of going after them. Obviously, with the consent of your parents, within boundaries. But if you don't dream, you're never going to get anywhere. So dream big and get to your dreams.
Inshallah.
Thank you for listening.